you gotta. I like to get like the plosives and all the abrasive sounds in.
It's nasty.
Ba ba boo ba bee ba boop.
All right, are we rolling?
Sure,
All right.
Jamie. Did you ever watch
Sup?
Baby Geniuses as a kid?
No.
I was like, when we were like, I was doing like the boo ba bee ba boop.
Yeah.
It just made me think of Baby Talk, which made me think of the hit film Baby Geniuses. You
Is
know
that,
where babies could talk?
was that like a new movie, like an animation?
No, it was like a movie I watched when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
And like there's some sort of situation where a kid was like in an amusement park
Yeah.
and he was getting chased by bad guys, but he was also a baby that could talk and he had a plan.
Yeah.
That's all I can remember. So
That sounds like a great film.
do with that information what you will.
Yeah, I'm watching that later.
Where did we begin? Where do we end? I don't know. Welcome to Real Neighbors.
Welcome, welcome. It's episode 28.
Yeah, I find that it takes a little bit for the recorder to turn on, so I just kind of hit the button and just kind of start talking,
Yeah.
and then when I go back to edit, I just find some random point to
Yeah. And
yeah, just throw it in.
And
Just throw us in.
usually it's just nonsense for the first little while.
All right, we're completely incoherent until we start recording.
Yeah. Before the recording's on, I'm hitting my head on the wall. You're just like beep boop bop boop boop, and we're just the minute we hit record, we're like hello.
This is very therapeutic for us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm belligerent.
Yeah.
Can't say anything.
Just shit in my pants.
Pooping everywhere.
Got nothing else going on.
Why do you think we're friends?
Yeah.
We're both dysfunctionally functional.
We're both just outcasts of society who can't function at all.
And only my siblings listen to this podcast.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. I was thinking about something else. I want to get into this right away because we were just talking about it before the show.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Ooh.
Thoughts?
That guy's a musky, smelly guy.
Put on some deodorant.
I never thought about it. That's a gross last name.
I mean, it's kind of gross, but I think Elon redeems it.
Yeah. Elon.
It comes together in a really nice way.
It's kind of like an alien name. Like it seems very extraterrestrial.
I think it's African.
Yeah. Yeah.
He came from Africa.
He's South Africa.
South African, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What about him? He's I don't know. He's a very, very interesting guy. I guess a little controversial to some, but I know there's tons of big fans. There's tons of people who really hate him. You know.
Follow up. Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Let's just go through every rich
He makes a mean
superstar.
He makes a mean computer.
They're gonna say a mean omelet, but
No, I don't.
Bill Gates, he makes a mean omelet. Real nice.
If there's one thing everyone knows about Bill Gates, is how good he is at making omelets.
No, what?
Actually, wait. Did you ever see that video of Bill Gates jumping over a chair?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good from a standing position.
Yeah, it's talent.
Elon Musk, Bill Gates jumping from over a chair from standing position.
They're like the same person, so that's fine.
I don't know. They're both just techie superstars.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know, also apparently Bill Gates fucks.
Yeah. Oh, he does.
So
And he makes a mean vaccine.
you guys, should we start writing the biography yet, or what?
Yeah. He probably has a biography.
No, we'll write one.
Our own. Let's write one about Elon Musk too while we're at it.
Fictional stories of non-fictional people.
Yeah.
That's what we'll call it.
You're not even allowed to do that, are you? Because you can get like in trouble.
I know that must be slander or something,
It
right?
is, yeah.
But what if the book is called that?
Mm-hmm.
Fictional stories of non-fictional people.
Yeah, 'cause
I mean that kind of rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
At what point is parody law like cover that? Because if you're like admitting from right off the bat that like
And on the first page, you say, just to emphasize, as suggested by my lawyer, none of this is real and satire. Please do not believe any of this.
yeah, you just call it bullshit Bill Gates stories.
Completely fabricated stories.
Yeah. And you can't even put a cool story about him jumping a chair because that's not even bullshit. That's real.
Yep. So Jamie,
can't even add that.
and to reel back, big news of the week, as you said, Dogecoin down.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to meme it harder.
Yeah.
Didn't go well.
Yeah, it dropped. He was on SNL, and apparently that's still a thing. And I guess he made a joke about Dogecoin, and I think people are speculating that's why people were like, I don't know, like.
I'm going to go ahead and say right now, the fact that they have Elon Musk hosting SNL
Yeah.
is just a sign of decline.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're kind of like, who's known for not being funny?
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Let's get him to host an entire show.
Yeah. His Twitter is just a trip. Like
Now okay on Twitter. I think he's pretty funny.
Well, I don't even use Twitter too often, but I looked at his Twitter kind of recently, and he made like a post, and it was one of those like bottom text with the black frames around it, like that real old school meme format.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this like is this self-aware?
Oh, totally.
It might, yeah.
No, dude, it's brilliant. And the
Yeah.
best part is every single time you read some of his like low quality shit posts,
Yeah.
you're reminded that he's worth like $80 billion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is how he spends some of his spare time.
Yeah.
He has a meeting about like SpaceX, then he has a meeting about Tesla, then he has another meeting for Boring Company, and then afterwards he just shit posts for a little bit,
Yeah.
and he goes back to whatever he was doing.
Yeah. Well,
Goes back to raising his kid Ash X the 13th or something.
exactly. Yeah. He's feeding them just code.
Data.
Pure code.
My child's going to be data driven,
Yeah.
not food driven like
Plugs them
like
into
primates.
the Tesla charger, like plug.
He's going to write a book later called like data driven childing
His
parenting.
childing. That's how he would word it too.
Yeah.
It's like a robot.
Data driven children
His
by Elon Musk.
his kid runs purely on green energy.
He eats spinach and we teach him
Yeah.
code every day.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently I didn't see it cuz I don't follow Elon Musk, and I don't watch SNL. So, I don't know much about it, but I've heard it was pretty awful, but wasn't shocking to hear.
Did you watch the Gen Z hospital skit though?
I actually, yeah,
You
okay.
did watch it, right?
I did watch a
okay,
bit.
all right.
I
we
cou-
were
I don't-
talking about it earlier, and I was like, I thought you watched it.
I didn't finish it though. I think I watched a bit.
I got 85% of the way.
Yeah,
I got farther than you probably.
I watched a good 30 seconds and I had enough.
Oh, that's all you could palate.
Yeah, yeah.
It didn't get any better.
I didn't think it would.
It's incredible how I actually sometimes I don't even mind out of touch humor. That's just so like unapologetically out of touch
Right.
that I almost find it funny because I'm like they clearly don't even fucking care.
Well, do I got a show for you? It's on every Saturday night.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was expecting a joke or some sort of punchline or some sort of meta but it wasn't. It was just them like going, "This is how Zoomers talk." LOL. And that was the whole skit.
Yeah.
And if I'm being frank, I don't even think Zoomers talk that way.
No.
I probably know more Zoomers than they do.
Yeah.
We don't fall too far from the tree.
No.
Sometimes I feel like we do, but
Actually, I was with a friend of mine, and we were talking about generations, and I was like, "Am I technically a millennial?" Like, so we looked it up. We're like, "What age does millennial stop?"
we're millennials.
No, well, you are. Well, okay, hear me out.
You're debatable.
Here-
I definitely am.
Hear me out. So he looked it up and he was like, "What's a millennial?" And it said someone born between, I think it was like 85 to like 94. And then he was like, "Well, what's Gen Z?" And he looked it up and it was like someone born 96 to this, to like another date. I'm like, they literally didn't include 1995 in any of those definitions. Like, where do I sit?
Okay, I want to say though,
Where do I sit there?
in my opinion, this is not based in any sort of fact or science or anything.
Is any
But I
generational thing based in fact or science?
I know. It is true. It's just like an abstract idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my money down and say anybody 98 is an organic seal of approved Zoomer, a Gen Z, like to the bone.
Yeah.
Anything after that is a little debatable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I've talked to people that are a few years younger than me, and they're I don't know. But then there's people that I've talked to that are 3 years younger than me, and there's like a difference somehow. Once like 3 to 4 years younger than me, I noticed a bit of the
Yeah.
bit of the Zoomer habits.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of, obviously it's just a way to kind of describe a cultural change. But yeah, it's like,
And it makes sense because I think we weren't too far behind having internet at a young age. We were we were just ahead of the bell curve on that.
yeah, but it does vary from person to person, because while it was getting more and more popular when I was growing up, I don't think I had internet right off the bat.
But imagine if you had high-speed internet 4 years sooner.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
Instead of 13, when we were starting to get YouTube and all that
Yeah.
shit, imagine getting it at 9.
Yeah.
That's a big difference, in my opinion.
Well, to be fair, I I grew up in Patrol, yeah. So I have a good timeline for how old I was when stuff happened, just because I moved at a pretty like pivotal point in my life where anything I remember in this house that I grew up in, I'm like I was clearly
Definitively before, like 7 or younger.
because I
Yeah.
know how old I was when I moved. And I did have internet because I remember, but it was slow. Like it was that dial-up internet out in the middle of the country. And I do remember watching Homestar Runner when I was like 6 or 7. But
That young?
yeah,
I
apparently that.
definitely wasn't on that train yet.
Well, I think my cousin showed me it for the first time when I was really young.
I didn't even know it was around at that point.
Yeah. So, but
I got on that train when I was 9. And as you said, they had like the Flash website, so you'd go on there but everything back then was so single purpose.
yeah,
You went to a website and it served one purpose. It's like, we do this. This is Arthur.
yeah,
There's Arthur games here and like clips,
yeah.
and that's it. See you later.
Yeah, and my you couldn't have phone calls while you were on the internet. Like I remember because it was dial up, I couldn't be on the internet while my parents made a phone call. But I wasn't really allowed on the computer much at that age. You know what I mean? I was very young, so I was kind of watched a lot
Oh
when I
yeah,
was
my parents were
using
pretty
it
strict about it.
at the time.
In fact, I think my parents were highly frowned upon RuneScape.
yeah,
When I was 7, because I think 7 is when RuneScape was kind of starting to become popular. That was like 19 years ago. That sounds about right.
yeah, that's true.
I was
Yeah.
playing it, and I think my parents didn't like it, so I was like, they didn't let me play it
My
anymore.
parents were cool with it for a while, and then eventually it became a thing where they kind of banned me from it. Like they were like, the more they heard about it, they're like, "That's evil, and you shouldn't be playing that."
I know anything
You're t-
evolving back then, spells and
Well, it wasn't even so much that; it was also just the stranger aspect. They were like, "You're talking to strangers on the internet," like that was a big thing too.
yeah. And I think another time I was fighting skeletons or something when they walked by, and they're like, "Oh, oh, oh, what are those?
Where's that person's skin?
That's not a person.
That's evil. Yeah,
Out, out, get out."
yeah. Where are we going with this? Something about
Oh yeah. Point being, I think someone 3 to 4 years younger than me has a very significant experience.
Yeah,
than we
yeah,
did.
yeah. It's
Very different.
It's definitely different, and I think kids younger and younger get a lot less like what's the
I
word?
think there was like a Passover, like an initial, like that, like those first few years that were like like I think all Zoomers are actually quite similar to a point, like of a good like 5 to 7 years.
Yeah. Yeah, all I know is I don't really stand anywhere in the world of generations. My year I was born is an entire generation of its own.
Fair. I think you're a millennial though.
Yeah, no, I know.
In terms of like culturally, you
Yeah.
are definitely a millennial.
That's basically I grew up. Yeah, yeah.
You grew up very similarly the way millennials did. Like somebody who's 5 to 10 years older than you
Yeah.
had obviously it was still significantly different, but it wasn't so far away
Yeah.
the way it is now.
Well, I wasn't big on the internet. Like when I was younger, like I didn't use it too much. I remember I'd play like CD-ROM games and stuff a little bit growing up. But like for the most part, I was more of like an outdoor kid. I was always just,
Yeah, I liked going outside too.
drinking from the garden hose and
Now, to be fair, though, the alternatives were not great.
the alternatives to
Well, I mean, if we had like a fucking mint setup where we could go on like these websites that just are like the whole world in one.
yeah.
Like there's websites now that are like basically encompass the entire internet we used to have when we were kids.
Yeah.
And that's so accessible and easy.
Yeah.
I could see the allure of being going. I can go hang out with my buddies, or I can play like all these games that are designed to get dopamine from my brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Designed for it.
Dude, actually, there was a website called bonus.com. And I remember because I have an older brother, Jesse, and his friends showed him this website. It was like a Flash game website, and he kind of showed it to me. And this was again, must have been like 6 or 7 because that was when I lived in that house. And some of the games on that I still remember were super fun. And the website's totally gone now. And I tried to look up some of the games, like to see if they're anywhere, like kind of archived anywhere, and they're not. And some of them I like remember. There's a game like Skull Kid. There's this cool snowboarding game, and they're just like gone.
I know the snowboarding game.
I managed to find a screenshot of the snowboarding game, and I was like, that was the game. But it's nowhere on the internet now.
Well, It's going to get harder and harder because modern browsers don't support Flash anymore.
That's true too.
You
Yeah.
can still download a legacy version if you really want
Yeah.
to play these Flash games. They're trying to find a way to preserve it because it is a piece of history.
Yeah. That's as SNL would say. That's lit, fam.
Lamau.
Bu-
Well said, Jamie.
That's bussin'.
Bussin'?
That-
Do they say that?
That shit's bussin'. I don't know. But yeah, yeah. This whole
I don't know who to side with.
this whole this whole topic was so what you were saying before that skit sucked. Is that what you're getting at? Just fucking
Oh,
garbage.
it was just bad.
Just
Yeah,
absolute
well, it's just
garbage.
lazy.
Yeah,
I actually just view it like they're.
no punchline whatsoever.
I actually do view it because it's Saturday Night Live, and I don't know. I feel like they've just somehow gotten more lax in the live element somehow.
Yeah,
like maybe they just show up and the actors are like, let's just make this up on the fly, all of it. You know, like there's no direction. Let's just redirection. You
Yeah.
know, like or just some like weird like I don't know.
Yeah.
But it just seems like there's no direction in any of the skits I've seen recently.
Saturday Night Live, more like Saturday Night Dead. Am I right?
Oh man, see that we are millennials because we're funny.
Yeah, I know. See, that wouldn't fly on SNL.
Yeah, they wouldn't put that in one of their scripts. A little
No.
too highbrow.
No. So anyway, did you watch the entire thing?
I watched 85%.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say that I've watched almost all of it.
Yeah, you made it through.
Maybe there's like a kernel of some brilliance in the last 10% though. Who knows?
Do you
That
know-
or they just got bored of improvising a bunch of bullshit.
Are you invested in Dogecoin, Austin?
No, not Dogecoin.
No.
I had Ethereum.
Okay, so I was like, were you thinking of pulling out when you watched it?
Oh, I was thinking of going all in.
Yeah.
No, dude, you know it's
The
so
Doge
funny
father?
because no matter how what you think about the market,
Mm-hmm.
it's never predictable. Nothing is ever guaranteed.
Yeah.
And things that you think are going to raise the value of something will decrease it without any notice. It's just that's the way it works.
Well, people were speculating that after Elon's after his appearance on SNL, people were speculating that it would go up, which it's funny because it absolutely did not. But I think since then it dropped, but it's went up a bit again.
I think it went down 70%.
But I think
in
it's
a very short
But
period
I
of time.
think it's on the up again a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's still dropped a lot.
Well, how about this? Here's your daily reminder that Dogecoin, you're basically trading options.
yeah.
You can lose it all.
Oh
You
yeah.
could.
Oh yeah.
It has no basis in anything. It has no relative value to any sort of currency or anything that's appreciable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I had Ethereum though, like and I'm not against cryptocurrency, but something like Dogecoin, it's a little too risky for my blood. And anybody out there, good luck if you have Dogecoin.
Well,
Wish you the best. Hope you make money.
It's purely just trying to capitalize on the hype, almost as a joke, because again, that's not realistically going to actually be a future currency. Like
Yeah, and it has no.
you know what I mean? Like
Just everything about it, the presentation, all of it's wrong. It's not a palatable currency.
it's purely like a playing the stock market thing. Like that's all.
Even me at 45, I'd be like, "This is fucking stupid. I'm not going to buy Dogecoin."
Well, there's no way it's actually going to be used, but I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on anymore. Like, who knows? There might be some country that's like going to be founded on Dogecoin now. Like, nothing shocks me anymore. I don't know.
I'm willing to entertain that idea.
Yeah,
I'm not against those sorts of things.
the whole country's mascot is like that type of dog, a Shibu Inu or whatever.
Well, I kind of do wonder. I don't know. To me, in the information age, and literally anything's possible.
Yeah.
Maybe you could like eventually get to a point where like we have smaller sects and you can sects, not sects.
Smaller sets.
Just in case I didn't like register in the microphone, a sect
Yeah.
with a T at the end, okay?
Right.
Where you can like register to an online and like join these. Maybe people will start going, why just have these online communities when we can actually converge in person?
We could have
knows, right? It's cool.
midget porn instead.
Midget porn enthusiasts all living in a community together.
Yeah, some smaller sex.
And then you start to wonder, maybe it's like in a few generations from now, does the confines of physical space versus digital space, is that how thin is that line going to get?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even need to be there. Maybe like permanence will be mostly digital.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right? So
Well, that I think that's the way things are going for sure. I think paper currency or just physical currency, I think definitely that is going to fade away eventually.
Oh no, that is a fact.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the weird shit, like the fact that we can eventually create a digital space that's so good that we prioritize it more than now, the real world.
Yeah. It's gonna
I
suck.
don't, that's never gonna happen for us though, unfortunately.
It's gonna suck when everything's all digital though, because like it's gonna be hard to like buy crack, and it's all gonna be traced.
There's gonna be crack in the digital world with no downsides.
What do you mean?
What I mean is like if you have like some sort of like thing that's strapped to you that can take over your senses, it can be anything.
Oh, virtual crack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the irony though is having no downsides is a downside. Because this is a generic book to bring up, and I'm not proud of it because I've read many books. Okay, guys, I'm a bit of a scholar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I even know the word a scholar.
Oh yeah. No one knows that one.
And so I was reading Brave New World,
Yeah,
which is a pretty famous book.
it is. Yeah.
And there's like a drug in the book.
I've never actually read it. Oh, it's skooma. Is that what it's called?
I don't think so.
I think it
I
is.
think that's from Star Wars.
No, skooma. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
Are you sure?
Almost positive.
Like we can get Benny.
I'll get Benny to look it up because I just want to confirm I'm right.
Are you sure that's not also potentially from Oblivion?
Like it's
Like Elder Scrolls Oblivion?
It's used elsewhere. Skooma. I think it's Brave New World. Oh, Soma is Brave New World.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Well,
I was gonna
okay.
think. I think skooma is maybe it's from a game or
Right.
something. Like that.
I was close though, eh?
Oh, it's a drug in Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
Skooma.
But Soma is
Oh, is that what it was called? Soma. Okay.
yeah, that's Brave New. I was close, but that's a Smashing Pumpkins song.
Yes, that is
really-
true.
a really
it's
good
actually,
one.
and that's actually I love that one.
That's actually one of my favorite Smashing
yeah,
Pumpkins
that
songs.
one's Oh, I know. Just the whole like really like dark vibe of it.
It's
just
beautiful.
Like,
It's like a
but it's
9-minute beautiful song.
but it's almost bittersweet too.
Oh.
You know, I like it. Yeah, I know. It's like a.
That's actually
weird.
That's actually one of my favorite albums, Siamese Dream.
Oh yeah, Siamese Dreams. You know, I was actually listening to Sweet Sweet earlier today.
Oh, nice.
Literally, that one little like minute 40 song near the end.
Yeah.
I like it. It's
I'm
just
like
got a nice vibe.
I'm a very small scale vinyl collector. Like I have a little collection, and that's one of my coolest records. Is I have like a pretty original print of Siamese Dream. Like it's like maybe a year after it came out is the print I have.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's harder to find real vinyl.
Yeah.
Which I've talked about before already, I think. But
Yeah,
But wait,
I went out of
before-
my way because it's one of my favorites, so I tried to get like an original copy. But
also, by the way, we got to make sure we finish timelines here because I don't want to like. So to get back to the Soma thing.
the loose ends,
Yeah, I'm like leaving a huge loose end here. They're like, what was he gonna say?
just like cliffhanger. Like anyway, awesome. Let's
Anyway,
move on.
Let's talk about Smashing Pumpkins
You,
now.
you ever been dewormed? That shit gets you hella
Oh,
faded.
well, we're gonna talk about
I'm just
that
kidding.
later.
I'm just kidding.
You're getting me distracted again.
Just-
I'm getting so excited about all these
Okay.
topics.
Okay, just okay. What are
So
you saying?
Soma.
Yeah.
I in the book the downside, the fact that it had no downsides was the downside because it made everybody very complacent
Yeah.
and it made people like overindulge in it.
Yeah.
So
To the point where they don't take any practical care of themselves.
not quite that extreme. I mean, it could have been vague. I haven't read the book. I read it years and years ago. That could have been implied, but it was more things like instead of dealing with problems, you'd avoid them and just do so much shit like that.
Well, yeah, because that is true that I would say too much pleasure, even if the drawbacks aren't, I would say too much pleasure itself is a drawback. Like, as in you basically, if you're not gonna like do as much if you're basically totally content just doing.
Well, here's
Nothing.
here's the big caveat, and this is why there will always be a downside to anything that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Is if you feel good from no reward, and you're not getting it from a feeling of accomplishment, like you're
Yeah.
being rewarded for doing something.
Yeah.
That's just bad.
Yeah.
So if like we have like these incredible like machines that take over our senses and they're like, we can make you feel the feeling of 10 orgasms for an hour.
Yeah.
Right. And afterwards you're like, that felt amazing, but you didn't
You didn't earn
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Which-
that's the problem.
Which that's basically what our podcast is to the listeners. It's like 10 orgasms
For an hour.
For an hour.
Oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're back.
Yeah. This podcast is, we don't realize it, but we're doing this to people right now.
Yeah, they don't deserve this.
No, they didn't earn this.
You don't get this.
Yeah.
But so the point being is even if we do have drugs that is said that they can just like make us feel without any drawbacks, that's the drawback.
Yeah.
because that means we'll prioritize getting the feeling of reward
Yeah.
without putting any work in.
That's deep.
Why spend 15 years building up a company at the end going like, fuck, I built this, when you can just have that feeling injected into your brain?
Yeah. That's
Like,
totally fair.
It's crazy, right? And actually, the funny that's the weird thing about inspirational videos.
Yeah.
I was reading this thing that apparently when you watch an inspirational video, you get the reward of watching someone else succeed in something.
Yeah.
And that actually in the long term is not good for you, because it actually, instead of inspiring, it doesn't always inspire you to pursue that same thing. It actually just makes you go, that's so great for them, and then you just move on.
You feel it. Actually, yeah. And I've heard in a similar vein that when people have plans to do something that is like good for them in the long run or something, people actually get pretty much like the same dopamine from talking about it, saying they're going to do it. And so like people who just go around saying, oh, I'm going to start doing this and this and this. It actually still triggers like something in your brain that like is like almost gives them satisfaction even though they didn't do it.
From the concept of doing it. Yeah.
So when people are talking all the time about like what they're gonna do, that's so good. It can make them complacent as well, because you kind of get satisfaction just from saying it.
Yeah. And now there's two sides of that coin, though. Is I find if I constantly, for me personally, if I continue to declare something verbally,
Yeah.
it makes it more actualized in my mind. Like,
Well-
I feel like I'm developing a mindset of like, I'm doing this.
Well, okay, yeah,
I'm doing this
but
kind of thing.
I guess the important thing there is you have to actually do it, though. So it's like, obviously, if you're talking about it and actually doing it, obviously that's good. But I'm just saying there are people who, and I've probably done it before too and stuff, where yeah, it does kind of give you satisfaction just to talk about. But yeah, the important thing there is
that is I would believe that to be true.
if you're
Yeah.
actually doing it, obviously, yeah, talking about it's not like a problem. But
The harsh reality is, if you have an objective in life and you're going for some sort of long-term goal, it doesn't always feel good along the way. You hit some hiccups. It's not very fun,
yeah,
and that's the way it goes. So it's not always the best feeling.
yeah, that's the Soma thing. It's
Now we talk about the drug or the song.
the both.
Okay.
Because that song is a drug to me. No, yeah, no, that's interesting because I get it in from like I do see how that would cause complacency, but at the end of the day, there's kind of a flip side to that. Whereas as long as all your needs are met and you're also able to feel great with no other drawbacks, I would still say that's a good thing as long as your needs are met on top of that. But
Now, of course, this is assumed that the user is able to regulate those things
their
healthily,
needs as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
which it's unpredictable even to the person that's
Yeah.
getting that feeling, because let's say like I think I to some degree have an addictive personality,
Yeah.
so I know that sometimes I have to be cautious and
Oh, dude.
don't overindulge.
Dude,
you know?
I have to drink water like every day. Like, or I just feel like shit. Like I'm so dependent on water. I hate it.
What's the presentation here? What's the
I hate it. Like I'm just addicted to water. Like it's so bad.
I don't know how to respond to that. Like, yeah, that's true. I guess.
You're supposed to laugh.
Oh, okay.
Jackass. I'm just
Breaking the
kidding.
constructs. Fucking water.
It's a joke. All right.
Does it just piss you off that we're completely dependent on food and water? Fuck. Elon Musk, what are you doing?
Yeah, why don't you just feed us code?
Why haven't you figured this out yet?
Why don't you just feed us your cock? I don't know what the
Whoa.
fuck I'm saying.
Jesus.
I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Having a confusing relationship with Elon Musk.
With Daddy Musk. Yeah. Oh God. Where?
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice, Jamie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I do. You know what? Did you want to talk about worms?
Yeah, man. Well, let's talk about. First off, we've already been talking about the fact that you're a bookworm. Oh, so.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, yeah, we might as well dive right into the worms.
Now that was funny.
Yeah.
Actually, what's weird? I haven't heard that in a while.
The
Bookworm.
term bookworm.
Is that a dated term? Like, do people still say bookworm?
No, because the new term is iPad worm. Like these kids,
They're a bit of a
these kids and their technology. No, yeah, bookworm's dated. Actually, do you know where that comes from? The term?
Actually have no idea.
No. I again, this is what I always heard, and maybe I actually am completely full of shit. I don't know. But someone told me this, and I think it was like a teacher or something I had who told me this back in the day. So it must be true because
The knowledge of your ancestors.
yeah, so a teacher told me this, so it must be true. But I heard that the term bookworm came from the books that are like old, like when they're preserved in libraries. There was certain times when it would get like kind of damp or whatever, and literally there was actually a worm that would kind of burrow through and eat paper. So there was literally bookworms that would eat paper and kind of destroy, like they were trying to preserve history, and it was actually like an issue that they had to deal with because there was like a type of worm that would eat the paper. And that's where I heard it came from. So then it became synonymous.
You're eating the book?
Synonymous with people who are really into books. Yeah, I guess. That's what I heard. I could be completely full of shit, but that's what I heard.
Oh, like, there's a moist book over there. I gotta have it.
That's what you're like every day.
Need it.
Yeah, you love reading. You're like, that's a nice moist book.
It sustains me.
Brand new world.
Actually, you want to hear something fucked up?
Sure.
Somebody please explain this to me, okay? It doesn't make it to me. It defies all reason.
Yeah.
When I was 13, I lost my hamster, and I thought he was dead because you know what? I didn't see him for about a month. I shit you not. I did not see this hamster for a month.
Yeah.
No idea where it was. And I went into and then one day I wanted to get a book out of my closet because I am a bookworm, right? I've always been.
Yeah.
I'm always craving books.
Yeah.
So I went into my closet. I pulled a book out, and it was a pirate book that I loved when I was a kid, so I read it a couple times.
Yeah.
And the whole corner was chewed away.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? And then I looked down and I like dig into the corner of the closet, and there's my hamster.
Like alive?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
How? I'm like, where was he getting water? Did he just eat paper? Like, I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck?
Wait, how long was he missing?
A month.
A whole month.
I actually have no idea.
Yeah, where did he get the water? That's a good point.
I don't know.
Wow.
Did he live off ink? Like just the ink on paper? Someone please, someone like figure this out for me. Because at the time, I even then I was going, he needs water and food. How did he just live here? I don't get it.
You underestimate how moist books can get.
Apparently.
Yeah, he was sucking the ink dry out of the paper.
For someone that's as small as he is, I'm willing to entertain that's feasible.
I don't know, dude.
I'm just saying the fact that he survived was amazing to me. So, but then I put him back in his cage and he was fine.
Dude, like maybe like when you were sleeping, you would sleep with your mouth open. He would just come like drink.
Lick some moisture off my tongue.
Just drink out of your mouth. God damn it, what is wrong with me?
Delicious.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's weird. That actually really does trip me out. But that's cool. That's a good story.
I know.
Little bookworm
Thanks,
you got
Jamie.
there. Yeah. What was his name?
I don't remember.
Fucking
Dude, I didn't
sociopath.
I didn't give a shit about my pets.
Wow.
Actually,
clearly, if you lost him for a month.
Actually, no, I did care. I loved the hamster, but I was 13. I don't remember its name anymore. Mm-hmm. It was the thing where
hamsters come and go. That's true. I've had a lot of birds.
Yeah, they're so finite. Like, how many fishes are you going to name before you just stop caring?
Yeah, I've had many fishes in my life, and I remember a couple of their names. Fredward was a recent one of mine. I didn't name it. I do recall being younger. I was an edgy little kid. I named it Shadow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a black fish.
Nice.
But other than that, I've had other fish, and I don't remember their names.
Yeah, so the hamster, the thing that the hamster actually taught me, which I think was great long term, is it made me less jumpy at night. Because sometimes I'd wake up and I'd hear a noise. I'd initially go like, what was that? Yeah. And then over time, I started to realize just the hamster just fucking knocking shit around and bumbling around and running in his wheel or whatever because they're pretty nocturnal.
Yeah, I've heard that. And I've never had a hamster.
You've never had a hamster ever? Wow.
No.
I had one that I gave it to my cousin. So I was in BC when I was 6.
Yeah.
And I had a hamster. And I gave it to my cousin. And I think he had it for a few weeks until he lost it. And then it got cooked to death under an oven.
Mm.
Like it went underneath the oven, and maybe it was I don't know how it works. Maybe it was an older oven or something like that. But apparently, like the contact heat,
at
the bottom of the oven. Yeah, maybe I don't know how that works. But he got fucking cooked.
So quick question: how did it taste?
That's very tasteless of you, James.
Yeah. Actually, that's not the first time I've heard a story like that. My cousin had the same thing happen to her. I remember her
To her. Oh my god.
What do you mean? Yeah, she was trapped.
Yeah, that happened to my cousin.
She was trapped in an oven, and her family ate her. It was
And they're
really
like,
tasteless.
It's not good to let things go to waste.
Yeah, they're like, well, she's already burned to death. We're a little short this month.
Oh
She's
god.
looking a little tasty. No,
For a second, you're like, that happened to her, and I was like, oh my god.
her hamster. Yeah. No, her hamster escaped, and the same thing happened. And they
Roasted.
They didn't eat it. I don't.
Turns out hamsters are actually
Burn.
not very intelligent and will just die without care.
Yeah. Are they? I think they're from Australia or South America. I think they're from a South
I have
America.
no idea.
But I heard that wherever, because they're popular pets here, I have heard there's places where wild hamsters are like as common as squirrels here,
Yeah.
which is
Really?
Yeah.
We got to Google that at some point. That's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Which again, maybe I'm full of shit, but I've heard that. So again, don't quote me on this, but I think there's places in South America with tons of hamsters. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
and you know what intrigued me the most about it?
Yeah.
I had a friend back in the day. He moved away to like New Zealand or something, and he would play with my hamster because I'd play with the hamster. He'd play with the hamster, and it never really. He would bite my finger. It never really bothered me because he couldn't break my skin.
Yeah.
He would just like nibble on it, and I'd just be like, "Oh, it's cute," and I just let him
little
nibble on
pussy.
my hand. And but when my buddy would come over, he'd hold the hamster, it'd bite him, and every single time it would make him bleed. And it was interesting to me because I was like, his skin must just be thinner than mine.
I see. You interpreted it way different than me. To me, it was like maybe the hamster is used to you, so it's like playfully biting you, whereas maybe it's actually aggressively trying to bite your friend. Like perhaps the hamster just was comfortable with you and it was more of a playful bite.
No, my hamster definitely hated me.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well,
you know what? No, I'll entertain that. You could be right.
I
That's
don't know.
very possible.
Yeah, your friend's got some thin skin. Did he get offended easily?
After that, I like called him a name and he just started crying, and ran home.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. I did, but some people do like skin is so different. Like a great example would be, I remember you scared the shit out of me because when you were in high school,
Yeah.
we were in high school together. It was winter, and we were just like in my basement playing games or whatever. And I look over, and you're just fucking bleeding out of your knuckles. And I'm like, what the? Are you dying? Like, are you just gonna like literally split in two and die right now, or what?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to get really dry skin on my knuckles, and because it's my knuckles, which is I don't know, what's the word?
Well,
A joint.
you expand and contract the skin there so much when you're moving.
Yeah,
it, right?
It's an appendage that it's a joint. So yeah, it was dry, and I recall making a fist, and it teared. Like I remember my skin like opened when I closed my hand.
It was messed up.
Yeah, I recall you were like, my mom has lotion, or did you ask your mom? I don't know. She recommended lotion, and I remember like, I don't know if that's a good idea right now. So then I recall rubbing lotion on my bloody knuckles, and it just hurt. I don't think it helped at all.
No, well, hurting's a good thing in that context, isn't it?
Like if it's like something disinfecting it, I think I think lotion is what you use to prevent that. I think once it happened,
yeah, I think that's true. It's probably too late at that point.
I think once it happened, that wasn't really the best move.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But yeah, I used to have
now. But that example is to prove my point that would it be really shocking that his skin would be different than mine?
Yeah, everyone has different skin, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. It's possible, but I don't know, man. How different could it possibly be? Like,
well, I mean, maybe my skin's only 5 to 10% thicker, and that's enough that like the hamster couldn't penetrate my skin. I feel like something penetrates your skin or it doesn't, and like the slightest difference can be the determining factor of that.
Yeah, that's true. Did you ever? I guess this is probably strictly Canadian, but poppies like so. I guess in case there's people listening who don't know what a poppy is, we wear like a little pin for Remembrance Day, which is like for soldiers and stuff, and it's a little pin I remember when I was younger though, and I'm sure a lot of kids did. Do you remember like sticking it through a layer of your skin?
Yeah, I remember stabbing myself.
Yeah.
Of course, we've all done it.
Yeah. So so I used to
Oh,
sit
that was
there.
the gag. Oh, I remember the gag. You're right. Yeah, that you could like pinch it through a layer of skin on your finger and like show it off to people.
Yeah, so-
I remember that.
Yeah, because you could just do the very slight little, and it wouldn't hurt. It would just be like the thick layer of your skin, like the callus part.
Yep.
And then I would just have like it sticking on my finger
I distinctly remember that.
to pay respects.
That's very respectful of you.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
Respect, man.
Yeah.
Respect.
But yeah, when I was younger, I recall doing that a lot. But I don't know. Yeah, I'd still say on average, I'm sure skin in general.
I bet my friend couldn't have done that.
Yeah, that's true. You would have bled out like a little
You would have
bitch.
just fucking bled everywhere.
That's true.
But you gotta admit, I've definitely met people that have skin that is so soft. I'm like, there's no way my skin could ever be that soft. Like, it's just incredible.
That's true. Yeah.
They're like, it's like a baby's bottom, as they say.
Well, here's the thing. So the thing you said about my knuckles, it's been a long ass time since that's happened to me. Well, to that degree, I still get dry skin there, but it doesn't tear quite like it did. Like
Quite like it did. It does like a little bit.
Well, I get dry skin, but I don't recall ever bleeding because of it anytime recently.
Fair.
So I don't know. I think I'm a little more calloused than I used to be.
I think my strategy when I was a kid was just being not very hygienic and not washing my hands, which means I wasn't drying my skin out. I was always nice and oily and ready to go.
Yeah. Actually, at the time, I worked at a grocery store, and I think the funny thing is, I do have like OCD in very, very specific ways, and not even, it wasn't like a overly clean thing. Because there used to be hand sanitizer on a till, and so between customers, because it was just something to do, I would like hand sanitize in between. Even though
doing that a lot is not good.
It dries your skin a lot. So actually, I think at the time it was because I would sanitize my skin a lot at work, and I realized it was drying my skin right out. And it wasn't literally, my OCD isn't even that hygienic. It's just really just ritualistic things I do, which is weird. It wasn't even me being paranoid about germs. I just did it because it was just like a thing to do.
Yeah.
So I would just do it all the time. And then I realized, oh God, I need to stop doing this. And it was winter on top of that. So yeah. So I don't know. I think that was definitely a big part of it, was just overwashing. So yeah, you being a gross ass kid definitely helped.
It just kept me so healthy. Just healthy like an ox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Picking my nose and just flicking it and
Yeah.
rubbing the phlegm into my skin to just make sure it has that extra layer of protection from nature.
Yeah. Snot's pretty hygienic, I think.
You think so?
Like your own snot, like it's not gonna have bacteria that's gonna harm you.
Well, I mean, actually,
it's in your nose right now.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Seeping into your
Well,
bloodstream.
actually, that's debatably not true.
Yeah.
Because the whole reason you develop phlegm in your nose is to catch bacteria that would be going into your body.
That's true. Well,
I feel like that's not true.
Well,
It can't be that bad.
It's
but
a filter, yeah. It definitely it lands a little science lesson for y'all. The cilia, which are the fine hairs in your nose.
I just tear all those out.
Do you?
And you know what? Sometimes I've done it a few times out of curiosity. Because have you ever okay, all right, I gotta add a little context. I bought a razor and it had like all these add-ons.
Yeah.
And I've done it a few times for fun because I had like a nose. What do you even call that? Like a
nose trimmer?
Just a nose trimmer, sure.
Yeah.
So I was just
I think
why not?
that's literally just what it's called, a nose trimmer.
Yeah. So like I just did it a few times and
Yeah.
I don't really get it. I'm like, I guess I don't know. So
Yeah. Side note, the term nose trimmer would mean something way different to Pinocchio.
What is happening? Like
don't
it's
know.
just like all the just so much bullshit this episode.
Yeah.
Just tons of just pure.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong though?
That could be something completely different to different people.
It
like
would.
Pinocchio.
Because if you think about it, you're not trimming your nose; you're trimming your nose hairs.
Well, I mean, you might as well just be cutting a tree down at that point.
Yeah.
'Cause you know why? Do you know why? Because he's a dirty liar.
Yeah. I've never trimmed my nose hair.
Ever.
No, I don't think so.
You're missing out.
I don't
Jimmy.
really get nose hair. Like it doesn't pop out of my nose.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is I shaved and afterwards I felt the same. I was like, okay.
Did you ever have nose hair popping out of your nose? I've seen that where people got the little spider legs
no,
popping
because
out.
that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah.
You actually want to hear another thing, just
Some
because
werewolf ass
this is just the
motherfuckers.
BS episode where we're just throwing your crap everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
I remember when I was 16, we went on oh dude, I actually remember the context. This is weird.
Yeah.
My parents brought me and my siblings. I don't even remember where it was. It was somewhere in the States. We drove out there. We went to a Dave Ramsey conference.
Yeah.
You know Dave Ramsey, right?
The name's familiar, but is he the financial guy?
Yeah, he's a really famous financial guy.
Okay, yeah.
We went to a conference with Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
And I think there's even a couple investors there. It was like a whole event.
Yeah.
And
do you think he invested in Dogecoin?
no, he definitely did not. Sorry. So we're watching it, and I was bored. My parents obviously wanted me, and they've always been good about the fact that they wanted me to be like smart about money, and I am smart about money now. And a testament to that is largely my parents.
Yeah.
They tried their best to teach me about that stuff. So
Yeah.
but I was really bored. I was a kid. I didn't want to like listen to Dave Ramsey talk about money for a couple hours. So
Yeah.
and at the time,
You're just daydreaming about trimming your nose hairs instead.
yeah, exactly. Well, my dad had his cell phone, so I finally convinced him to let me play Doom because he had like Doom on his cell phone. So I was like 13 playing Doom on his cell
Wait,
phone or something like
what?
that. Yeah, he had one of the original
Emulators on his phone?
he had one of the original why am I forget iPhones?
Yeah.
He had like one of the really early iPhones, and one of the cool things about it is it could play Doom.
Really?
Yeah, so it was fucking awesome.
Like the Doom 64, like the original
yeah, like
Doom?
the original Doom.
Really?
Yeah. So
That's
at the
cool.
time, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was the point of the story? Why did they even bring this up? Oh,
Dave Ramsey
I
nose
remember.
hairs.
I
Yeah.
remember. Folks, keep tuned.
Yeah.
Tune in.
Keep tuned, tune in.
We went to dinner afterwards. Oh, this is how it leads to noses. Okay. We were eating dinner. I look over, and I felt so bad for looking too much. But there's this guy there, and I shit you not, his nose, like his nostril, he actually had like, it looked like somebody took a knife and just cut off like part of his nose. And I shit you not, it was just dangling like this. So imagine if someone like came to you and like with a hatchet and
Yeah.
like chopped your nose in half.
But like it left it on by a strand?
Yeah. And the dude was just in the restaurant, and I could literally see the inside of his nose.
Like, it's not even
like,
funny.
Half
That's
of his
probably-
nose was just hanging off his face,
That's
and I
probably-
could see like everything underneath. And I
Oh.
was a kid, and I was just fucking staring at it. I couldn't
Yeah,
help it. I
of
was
course,
like,
of
"What
course.
the hell?"
Yeah.
And he's just eating dinner there, and it's just nose just like this, just dangling.
Wow.
It was so weird.
like dangling by skin? Like how loosely was this on his face?
Okay. I want to give you. Okay, let me try to really give you. Imagine this is the weird thought I had when I was there.
Yeah.
It looked like someone got like a. This is so random, but do you ever have this weird fear that when you're walking by people fishing, they're gonna like flick it back,
Yeah.
and like grab onto your ear or something with their hook?
Absolutely.
It looked like someone like caught the inside of his nose with the hook and like ripped off part of his
Oh,
nose.
God.
And then afterwards he was like, I still have to go to dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
So imagine it like that. Like someone like ripped the cartilage of his nose.
Oh,
And
God.
it was just kind of like, not by skin, just like this.
Yeah.
The outer frame of it.
Yeah. He shows up to dinner. Everyone's like, "What happened to you?" He's like, "Fishing accident. Whatever.
I know.
Whatever. I'm hungry."
But it was like an important event or something, So he's like, it's a Dave Ramsey conference. I can't just not, I can't not save money.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
These are expensive tickets.
yeah. This is the thing fish have to deal with all the time. The ones that escape off the hook, they're all going to dinner and
Yeah. So
dealing with that.
It was a confusing feeling because, when you're a kid, you try to have tact because if you see somebody that has a deformity that's out of their control,
Yeah.
in the sense of, let's say, I forget what that's called, but, like we were talking about earlier, like raspberry, where like their skin like turns like purple and patches.
I didn't have tact as a kid, so I don't think that's true because
Well-
I was pretty obnoxious as a
Well,
kid.
you knew it was wrong to stare.
Yeah.
You would be like, okay, I shouldn't look. Like at that point, I was 13. I was like, I know better than
Up-
to just
up to
stare
a-
at someone.
up
right?
to a certain age, but I definitely know really young kids, especially before they really experience stuff like that. The kids don't have a
Yeah, well,
filter.
I wouldn't put it past me if I was under 8.
A lot of kids don't have a filter with shit like that.
Yeah. Now, the fact that, because I was 13, but the fact that his nose was just hanging there, I was like, I can't not look.
that does-
It was just, it was too interesting.
That is weird. There's a guy who lives here in Sarnia that I've seen several times, and he just doesn't have a nose. And obviously, like, I don't like stare,
Like
but
his nose is just completely
just
gone.
totally gone. I
Wow.
don't know why. I don't know what caused it, but it literally is just flat there. Like there, and I've seen him multiple times, but I think I did see him when I was pretty young, and it did definitely take a lot of me to not be obnoxious. Well, not obnoxious, but at least not like stare. You know, because as a kid, like I don't know. I'm surprised I wasn't weirder about it, but I do. Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad. Like that's shitty. I'm sure whatever caused that isn't good, but
Oh yeah, that couldn't have been fun.
no, but
It was definitely some sort of potential accident. Maybe it could have been recent, or maybe it's just the way it was now. Who knows? Or he's waiting for surgery. There's all sorts of
yeah.
reasons
Okay, well,
that could be
actually,
the case.
something funny. So yeah, kids really don't have a filter, and some a funny story about my brother that really makes me laugh.
Yeah.
So my grandma, um, so she like basically like my grandparents split up like probably, excuse me, probably way before I was I don't remember them being together. So they split up like a long time ago. But
Outside of your memory entirely.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. But I remember my brother, my parents have this story that it makes me laugh thinking about it. But he went to they were at like a church or something, and he went up to like the pastor of the church, and out of they were with she was like with not I'm saying she as in my mom, not my brother. Fumbling on my words here, but yeah, basically he went up because he was with my grandma, and he was like my grandma had a divorce. Like he just told the pastor that for no
It's
reason.
walked up. My grandparents are divorced.
Yeah, just for no reason. My mom, like, that's just always been a story she's kind of thought was funny. She was like, just for no reason he decided to
Just
share
as a
that.
matter of factly.
Just
Yeah.
because like they must have like he just knows that, so it just comes out.
He's like, I know some stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I have one that is embarrassing that I feel ashamed of.
Mm-hmm.
I won't give any names.
Yeah.
We had some family friends over when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and the younger brother, I hung with the younger brother, and he had a sister, and they were like kind of in town for a bit. And we were all hanging out.
Yeah.
And he said, Austin, can I tell you a secret? And I said, oh, of course. I'm so reliable. I'm just, 7 or 8 years old. Like I know how to keep secret.
Yeah.
He says, my older sister still wears diapers.
Wow.
And I immediately went like, she still wears diapers?
Yeah.
And I shit you not, within like 10 minutes, we go upstairs, and I think they're like leaving or something like that. And I'm like, Quinn just told me.
Oh no.
He's like, you wear diapers.
Like was she there? And you said it in front of her too?
Yeah, to sit in front of everybody.
Oh God. How old were you?
I was like 8 or something,
Jesus.
maybe 7.
Yeah.
And she ran out crying. I don't know if the parents were over impressed. My parents were not impressed.
Well, like, I don't know if like you probably don't know this, but was it like an actual medical thing, or was it just she just never really learned not to?
I think it was just
It probably
maybe,
at that
slow
point,
learning, right? Who knows?
at that point, it was probably a medical condition. Like perhaps she actually had some like bladder issue, or
yeah,
I wonder.
Dude,
Yeah.
I actually have no idea why.
Yeah. Either way, it's a dick move.
I know. Oh yeah, I was, and actually, you know what? While I was saying it,
Yeah.
he tried to cover my mouth.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like in the
Ugh.
middle of saying it, and he was like, "Oh fuck," and he like put his hand over my mouth, and I kept saying it while That's how big of a dick I was. Is
Yeah.
someone was covering my mouth, and I was still saying it as loud as I could.
Yeah. Yeah. You just
So
had to-
you're right. Kids don't have tact.
No, they really
Can
don't.
I tell you a secret? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just tell me right now.
Yeah. Oh man,
What?
that's awful.
I didn't know it was gonna be that.
Yeah, I can't keep this to
Sorry,
myself.
buddy. See you later.
Yeah. Wow.
I know, and I apologize, and I'm not proud of that one. So
No, that's totally fair. Yeah, I'm sure. Obviously, there's many things I've done. I can't remember anything too particular that I've done that was weird. I know I used to embarrass my mom a lot, though. She definitely has some stories, like just taking me out in public. I know there was a period where she refused to take me and my brother out in public, like to like grocery stores or anything,
yeah,
because we would just be ridiculous in public. Apparently,
yeah.
like just no. we didn't care about who was around. We would just do the stupidest things, and she got like embarrassed basically. So I think
Yeah.
I think we used to be babysat by my grandma a lot when she would go like grocery shopping because of
Yeah,
that.
my parents are the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But the problem was for me is I wasn't being ridiculous. I would actually just run away.
Mm.
So my dad would be like, would look away for a second, and I'd just run off.
Yeah.
And he got to the point. I think he just said, like, yeah, I'm just not taking him to the grocery store anymore.
That's-
because I don't want to deal with the stress of. I'm just trying to get groceries, and I don't want my. And instead, I'm spending half the time figuring out why my kid is gone.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair.
Being 7 years old, and I'm just like, just fucking. My dad like, oh, that's a good price, and I just run around the corner and peace out.
Yeah. Do you know I have a really weird memory from when I was younger, but it's like it trips me out because I'm trying to remember exactly how it went, but I basically remember being at like a dollar store or something in Petrolia, and I was with my parents and my brother, and there was this like really just sweet old lady who, you know, those like little windmill things you could blow, like the little sticks with the windmills.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So she gave us those, and she paid for it for us, and she gave it to us. But for some reason, I really didn't grasp the concept that she bought them for us. Like, she gave it to us. I was like, oh, and then I was holding it, and then it was already paid for. But again, you know how once you have something paid for, but you're still in the store, it's kind of just like the person working the desk is just going to be like, I already know that's paid for, so it's fine.
Yeah,
You know, that
yeah.
whole thing. So it's just, but I didn't grasp that at the time that it was already paid for and everything. So I think I was just confused. I was like, why do I have this? My parents haven't even rang out yet. So why? So I think I did. They basically, my parents paid, and I set it down or something, and I left. And do you ever have those memories that you remember you were just really upset over something, but then you look back, you're like, that's so weird that I reacted that heavily to it?
Yeah.
But I remember that basically I didn't have it, and I was like, well, what happened? They're like, well, then my parents were trying to be like, well, they bought it for you. They're like, where did it go? And I was like, oh, they bought it for me? Because I didn't even realize, and I think I just put it back or something.
Yeah. Oh, you just left it there.
Yeah, and I just remember like throwing like a tantrum over it, and my parents, I was like, well, can we go back so I can get it? But they were already like almost home, and they're like, well, no, they're like, it's not a big deal, like it's just a thing. And I just remember freaking out over it. But
You didn't have it, and then you got it again, and then you lost it again.
yeah, it was like I would have been more content knowing that I just never had it to begin with. But the fact that I was later explained that someone bought
Well,
it for
your
me,
parents probably regret it too.
yeah, I felt like I was like, what? She bought it for me. Why don't I have that?
Damn it!
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's so weird that actually sticks out to me because I do recall that was like a full on tantrum. Like I just blew up over that.
My goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I mean, we've all been there as a kid.
Oh yeah.
I did some stupid shit. I freaked out over. You're a kid.
Kids are pretty irrational, man.
Well, it's more. No, actually, no. They're very rational.
no.
And no, in the sense that no, they said that was mine, and now I don't have it,
Hmm.
and now I'm upset. I feel like that's a pretty rational mindset.
Well,
That toy belongs to me, and now I can't have it.
I suppose.
I mean, like as a kid, that seems like it seems like a logical conclusion to say I'm now upset that I do not have that.
I would say the value assessment though is the irrational part because
Oh, of course, yeah. Understanding the intricacies of when it's worth
at
it
the
to
end
address
of the,
those
at
things.
the end of the day, like it's not that big of a deal that I didn't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you can't expect a kid to understand the value of not making a fuss.
Yeah. Yeah.
In their mind, they're like, that's bullshit. That's mine.
Yeah.
Now, as you said, though, the understanding the value of freaking out and annoying people,
Yeah.
as you said, that in itself does have value, and you just can't understand that when you're a kid.
Oh yeah.
If something happens to you that's, not ideal, and you react and you freak out into someone, let's say, it's less valuable. Like whatever that thing was has to be really valuable for you to be justified in freaking out that person as an
Yeah.
adult, right?
Yeah.
They'd have to really fuck you over.
Oh yeah.
If someone said, I lost hey man, I lost like your freaking, you let me borrow like a deck of cards and I lost it, I wouldn't be like, you fucking idiot.
I
and
can
like
never
smack him in the face.
yeah, there's like sentimental value to those cards all of a sudden. You're like, I will never see those cards again. Oh my god.
all the games of Pepper I've played with those.
Yeah, you're just like freaking
Gone
right out,
forever.
punching holes in the wall. Like you're like, I can't.
My grandmother used those cards.
Those were my cards. No, but even if it was something that literally had no even sentimental value, just like, yeah.
Now the thing is, though, yeah, I guess even I'm at the point now where if you do give somebody someone, you're always just running the risk that there's no guarantee you're going to get it back ever, right?
Oh, letting people borrow stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a thing where I would be disappointed. Now, how about this? If I gave somebody something very with a pretty heavy layer of trust, meaning I'm like, this is something I really value.
Yeah,
Please do not lose this. And then they do lose it. I would obviously be upset.
I would totally throw a tantrum, even now.
I would start kicking and screaming. I'd just fall on the ground and just go like,
crying.
what the fuck? Shit.
Do you lend stuff to people often? Can't remember. I don't think I do.
Like practical. Like sometimes people want like practical shit. I guess like not much lately.
No.
Maybe.
I can't remember the last thing I've lent to someone. I don't really do that often.
Actually, a great example. Actually, I let someone borrow my car.
Yeah.
That's a pretty practical thing.
And you haven't had it since.
It's gone.
They just took off.
Well, I mean, if they don't come back with my car, I'd be pretty fucking pissed. Let's be real about that.
They just drove out to BC somewhere.
But if someone said, "Hey, they just said my car's broken," or like my car's not working right now, can I borrow your car to go somewhere? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, and that's pretty large scale. That like,
and as you said, there is a lot to lose there. And compared to a deck of cards, yeah, maybe I wouldn't be happy if they said, I don't know where it is.
Just come in. Yeah. That'd be amazing. You lend your car to someone, they come back. You're like, they walk to your house. You're just like, where's my car? Or to quote a movie title, dude, where's my car?
And man, we went to like the park and
I don't know where it went. I literally don't know where your car is.
I don't even have the keys. Like it's just gone, man.
How would you even begin to like address that?
Yeah, you wouldn't even know what to say. I'd be pretty speechless. I'd be like, you lost the car.
You lost my car.
Well, first of all, you're a fucking moron.
Did someone mug it? Were you like Grand Theft Auto? Did they just like hold you at gunpoint and take it?
It was gone the whole time. I just went for a walk and it's gone.
I don't know where it went, man.
I look at my pocket, the keys, they're gone.
They're gone. The car's gone. I don't know.
We're out of time, Jamie.
All right. Wait, which before we leave, I do want to note. We were supposed to talk about worms or something.
Nah, we never got around to it.
We didn't.
It's okay. We'll just throw it in the title.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about like we don't want to leave any loose ends.
Bookworms.
But
we talk about bookworms.
Sure,
and
there you go.
And worms eating books, and we can always get to more worms later.
Let's talk about worms.
Let's talk about, guys. Please remind us in the comments to talk about worms in the future.
Please.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, yes. Thanks for listening, everybody.
We leave no stone unturned.
No stone unturned.
Might be worms under there.
We'll get back to worms. All right.
See you later, guys.
All right. Bye.